Up next is the App of the Week segment. This is a segment dedicated to app demonstrations. Should you have an app that you would like to demonstrate for our listeners, feel free to send us the recording of such an app demo to contact us at blindandroidusers.com. And now for this week's episode, here's your App of the Week. Chugging along now, we move on to our App of the Week, and we're talking about the Huxe or Huxe. And it's an AI app that ex-Googlers brought us. The whole idea is to show you how it works on Android, even though it's not very accessible, but at least it's a little bit usable, but with some problems. Here is that demonstration now to show you where the pitfalls are and where some of the areas could still be used. Hi, Warren here for Blind Android Users Podcast. I'd like to first, though, apologize that I have a cold and I may be a little bit sniffly during this demonstration. For episode 251, App of the Week, I'm demonstrating an app I introduced to both our email and Telegram groups in the way of an app called Huxe or Huxe, Huxe, Hotel, Uniform, X-Ray, Edward. It's an AI app, but it's very interesting and I like it a lot. It's not very accessible, but with a little update, it's kind of more accessible than what it was when I first tried it out. For today's demonstration, I'll be utilizing my Galaxy S23 Plus, running One UI 7 and Android 16.x. I am on the home page, that is on the play page of Huxe or Huxe, whichever way you want to pronounce it. And now I'm going to move to the About, so we hear the description of the app and then come back and tap on that install. I'm starting afresh so that you'll see where there are problems and where there are not. I'll now tap on the About.
About this app. Heading. Google Play Store. Huxe. Details. Personalized audio intelligence. Turn anything into a podcast in seconds. Filled Circle Huxe is your personal audio companion, built to turn what you care about into beautifully generated interactive audio. Filled Circle, whether you're getting ready, commuting, walking the dog, or simply looking to unplug from screens, Huxe lets you listen to your world. What Huxe can do for you. Make a podcast from any topic. Filled Circle, just type what you're curious about, explain or LHF what's happening with TikTok and music labels, or tell me a story about Mars, and Huxe generates an interactive episode tailored to you. Start your day with a personalized audio briefing. Filled Circle Huxe pulls from your emails, calendar, and the latest news to create a smart, spoken overview of what matters, so you can get up to speed while you get ready, commute, or walk the dog. Steer the conversation as you listen. Filled Circle Huxe episodes are interactive. You can follow up, go deeper, or shift directions midstream. It's an audio experience that adapts to your curiosity. Follow trends, not noise. Filled Circle Huxe taps into trusted sources and real-time insights to synthesize what's worth knowing, not just what's going viral. App info. Version 1.1.5. Updated on September 23, 2025. Downloads. 10,000 plus downloads. Download size. 33.79 megabytes. Required OS. Android 7.0 and up. Offered by Huxe AI. Released on June 18, 2025.
And that's both the description of the app and its history. I do want to mention here in passing that this is coming from 3 ex-Google engineers that started the project Tailwind back in 2023, and that graduated into the Notebook LM, and those guys left in December of last year, 2024, and formed a startup called Huxe or Huxe AI. I do want to mention as well that at the moment, this app is only available for the UK and the US. I'll now go back though to the installation page and tap on that install, and let's get started.
Play Store. About this app. Heading.
And now I'll tap on install.
Install. But. Pending. Verified by Play Protect. Navigate up. Button. Huxe. 0%. 2%. 67%. 100%. Installing. Shortcut to Huxe added on home screen.
We are done with the installation, and I'll now tap on Open.
Button. Open. Huxe. Audio intelligence.
First thing we heard was audio intelligence. Putting my finger in the middle,
Continue with Google.
you have either continue with Google
Log in.
or login. I already have an account that I created, one on my other phone and the other one that I simply use the login with Google. So if you like, you could create an account or you could log in with Google. So if you tap on,
Continue with Google.
it'll take you to where you could choose your Google account to log in with, or if you've created an account,
Log in.
you tap on login and that will take you to a page where you could enter your email address and log in. Now, if you haven't created an account, there's also create a new account. If you choose to create an account, it'll send you a verification code to the email address that you've provided. And then once you put in that email code that it sent you, then it will ask you to create a password. For this demonstration, however, I'm going to simply tap on Continue with Google.
Continue with Google. 0% toolbar progress bar Chrome 0% sign in Google accounts web view.
We're now on the login page with Google.
Choose an account. Heading 1.
And here we have a choose an account. In other words, if you have more than one Google account, you choose the one that you would like to log in with.
To continue to Huxe AI button. Warren Carr use another account link.
And there's a use another account link. And below that,
Before using this app, you can review Huxe AI's collapsed English United States drop down list change language English United States. Help link. Privacy link. Terms link.
and that's the last item there. I'm going to tap on my username, that is my email address.
Warren Carr 0% toolbar progress bar Huxe. Live Today in AI, your essential 5-minute briefing on what happened in AI today, breakthroughs, funding, debates, and launches.
We're now in the menu eye of the app, and as I indicated earlier, or on our email, the app is not very accessible. Thus, TalkBack is doing the heavy lifting here. I should have used my Pixel phone instead, because that probably would have given me better icon descriptions than what the Samsung phone is doing. However, I think it's still usable with the Samsung device. Now that we're in the menu eye, there's nothing on the top left corner at the moment. On the right top corner, however, when you move your finger,
Unlabeled.
that's a menu
Detected
button.
icon menu.
Now, I do want to warn here that if you're a swiper and if you swipe from here, you will be landing right at the very bottom right corner, which would be the ad. In other words, you're going to be interacting with the button that will activate to add a URL or the topic that you're looking for. So there are lots of things between this button here and that button at the bottom right corner. And thus, it's not very good to swipe because you're going to be skipping over things. I will therefore instead explore by touch. Before we get to the items below here, though, let's tap on that menu and quickly see what we have. We're in that menu now, and putting my finger down,
Unlabeled. Detected icon close.
we have a close button on the top right corner, and moving on down,
Settings. Account.
Next.
Warren edit name and manage account.
Next.
Connections. Manage email and calendar.
In other words, you could choose to make this fetch your email and calendar and stuff like that. So you tap here and let it have access to the stuff you want it to have access to.
Edit interests. Update your personalized interests.
Could tap here to choose the categories that you like, technology, etc., etc.
Audio.
Now we come to audio. In other words, you'll be choosing the voices that you will be hearing. And we've got
Hosts. Select hosts for your daily brief.
In other words, these are the voices of the people that you'll be choosing that will be presenting the item in a podcast style. And below that,
Language. Select desired podcast language.
and that's the last item. If you keep swiping, if you're a swiper and you keep swiping it's going to wrap you up toward the top. So you don't want to swipe here. Instead, you just swipe left to go to the voices that you would select from.
Hosts. Select hosts for your daily brief.
And I'll tap.
Detected icon. Back.
We're sitting on the back button, and if you move your finger to the right or if you swipe, that would be the close button.
Unlabeled.
And that would be
Detected
close.
icon. Close.
Moving on down here, though, we'll come across the different voices, sample voices. By default, a couple of them are selected, a woman's voice and a man's voice. However, I haven't figured out how to play the sample voices, so you'll just check something and then you go listen to see what it sounds like, which is not good, which is part of the inaccessibility of the app. Here are the hosts.
Select 2 hosts to use throughout the app. Checked checkbox. Unlabeled.
That one is checked and it says unlabeled if you swipe right or move your finger right.
Unlabeled.
That would be the play
Detected
button.
icon. Play.
And if I tap, nothing happened. If you swipe right, however, it'll tell you the name of the host.
Quill.
So Quill is checked. If you swipe again,
Checked checkbox. Unlabeled.
that's the next voice that is checked. And
Unlabeled.
to the right of that is the play button.
Detected icon. Play.
And again, if I tap, no dice. And of course, you move your finger right or swipe right,
Marlowe.
tells you the name of the person. Let's see if the next one,
Not checked. Checkbox.
that one is not checked. Now, if I move my finger to the right or if we swipe right,
Unlabeled.
let's see if this would
Detected
play.
icon. Play.
No dice.
Lumen.
Let's go ahead and check it and
Unlabeled.
see what happens.
Not checked. Checkbox. Not checked.
When you tap it, it says not checked.
Unlabeled.
Anyway, so there are a bunch of voices here. And at the bottom, if you've chosen something, there's a save. And that's at the very bottom. And now that we're done here, though, let's go back to the menu eye. So we're currently seeing on that menu here on the top right corner. And I'll move my finger down. Below the menu, we find the logo and the text there that is not being read. However, below that is a button that will simply say unlabeled, but it is the play button, because if you leave your talkback focus there for a little while, that will say play button. Here's what I'm talking about.
Unlabeled.
And waiting.
Detected icon. Play.
Now, again, we're not swiping. You move your finger a little bit to the right and slightly below there.
Unlabeled.
That will be the refresh button. Now that we're sitting on the refresh button, if you swipe from here, from right to left,
Discover. Tab.
that will be the Discover tab. And by default, if you swipe again,
Selected. For you. Tab.
we are on the For You tab. Now, below here are live items. In other words, if I move my finger down,
Live stations.
we encounter live stations. And below that, you got things arranged in columns and rows. And these are things you could tap on to listen to.
Live. The Prompt Engineer. The emerging economy of AI whisperers. Prompt engineers making $300,000. Jailbreak markets. And the humans teaching machines to think.
So if you want to listen to that, you could tap on that and it'll just generate the podcast style like listening. And to the right of each of these is an unlabeled button, which when you tap on kind of shades that item. I don't know if that selects it or not.
Unlabeled.
And if I move my finger to the right,
Live Today in AI. Your essential 5-minute briefing on what happened in AI today. Breakthroughs, funding, debates, and launches.
so that's how that works. Now, toward the bottom, we've got some tabs. In other words, we've got 2 tabs at the very bottom. On the very bottom left, we've got
Tab. Detected icon. Home.
that is the home, which is by default we're sitting on. Now, to the right of that is the tab that is simply referred to as the person tab, something I would like to refer to as my stuff. Tapping on that, though, you'll see a couple tabs at the top. that will be the created and saved tabs. The created would be the ones that you've created from topics that interest you, and the saved tabs would be items that you tap on in the live section. Any item that is tapped from within the live section will be added to your saved tab. Let's go ahead though and tap on that person.
Tab. Detected icon person.
And I tap.
Selected. Page 2 of 2.
Now if I move my finger toward the top,
Capital W.
it says capital W. That's my name. I move
Warren.
right. And below that,
Selected. Created. Tab.
by default, I'm sitting on the created tab. To the right of that
Saved. Tab.
is the saved tab. That's all that we have. And then at the bottom, of course, you still have those two tabs. You got that home tab and also the person tab or your tab of your items. And of course, to the right of that will be
Unlabeled.
that add.
Detected icon. Add text plus.
I want to talk about the adding because when you tap on this, it doesn't activate. So you would have to use something like a pass-through, or now that it's sitting here on this icon, you could simply unload your screen reader and just tap there and it will activate it. I'm going to unload my TalkBack and show you what I'm talking about.
Talkback off.
I have tabbed there at the bottom right corner. Now I'm going to reload TalkBack.
Talkback on.
With TalkBack on, putting my finger near the top,
What do you want to create? Window Huxe.
it says, what do you want to create? And if you swipe right,
Live station real-time audio that updates with the latest info. Always fresh, always relevant.
so if that's what you want, you tap there and it will show you how you can add that, whether by URL or by whatever. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And I put my finger down.
What do you want to hear about? Edit box.
You could type in what you want to hear about, or
Enable web search.
this enable web search.
Search the internet for relevant sources.
Moving right.
On. Switch.
There's an on-off switch button there.
Sources.
And
It will always pull from these sources if you add a link. Add from URL X text RSS Reddit.
so you could add from either X or subreddit.
Add.
I'll tap on sources.
Sources. Select source you want to upload.
We have select the source you want to add, and if you move,
Add URL.
you could add a URL. In other words, if you tap here, you'll provide the URL, or
Add text.
you could add the text. Next.
Add X handle.
So the X handle, like on a Twitter, formerly Twitter. Next.
Add RSS feed.
RSS feed.
Add subreddit.
And that's the last item. Now be careful, because if you swipe here, you'll be moving to the top left corner. That would be the close button. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if you're a swiper and you swipe,
Unlabeled.
you're going to hear unlabeled.
Detected icon. Close. Text
And
X.
that would be the close button there on the top left. So I'm going to tap to close out of this window, or I'll simply go back.
Sources.
Now we're going to go back again.
What do you want to create?
So we're back on what do you want to create. The last one that we looked at was
Live station real-time audio that updates with the latest info. Always fresh, always relevant.
this time. However, I want to go to,
Deepcast custom podcasts on any topic. Just tell us what you want to explore.
so we got a deep cast. In other words, just tell it the topic and it'll do that research for you and provide it to you in a podcast format. I'll tap here.
Deepcast custom podcasts on any topic. Just tell us what you want to explore. What do you want to hear about?
We're on the next window, and if we move down,
Spin up a personalized interactive audio experience on any topic.
moving down,
E.g., the future in AI music 3 period. Edit box.
and here's our edit box. I'm going to tap here to activate the field.
E.g., the future in AI music. Showing English, US, QWERTY.
Now I'm going to dictate accessible apps for the blind and see what it generates.
Use voice typing.
Accessible apps for the blind.
Voice input stopped.
Voice input has stopped, and I'm going to check to be sure that I have what I asked for in the edit field.
Editing. Accessible apps for the blind. Edit box, e.g., the future in AI music.
There's my accessible apps for the blind. That's what I just typed in, and now what we need to tap on is the generate button. There's a generate button there on the top right part of the keyboard, just above the keyboard. However, if you're exploring, it's not going to speak. If you hide the keyboard or if you simply swipe, you're going to land on that generate, but you'll see other items before you get to it. And so if you like, you could just swipe till you hear generate, or if you like, you could hide the keyboard and swipe till you hear generate. And that generate with the keyboard hidden would be at the very bottom part of the phone. I'm not going to hide the keyboard. I'm going to swipe right so you hear what I'm talking about. So now swipe right.
What's new in AI? Eli 5 what RLHF is. Help me get over my fear of public speaking. Generate.
There is our generate. I'll tap here to generate. It takes a little bit of time to generate, and give it time to generate. So you need to be a little bit patient while it generates. I'm still waiting for the generation to come through.
Create capital W. Page 1 of 2. Keyboard hidden.
It has finished that generation, and I'm going to put my finger toward the top in the middle of the phone.
Selected. Created. Tab.
So we're by default in the created because I created one, and to the right of that,
Save.
you
Tab.
have the save tab, and if you move down,
Deepcast AI's vision, empowering the blind with smart tech, exploring the latest AI-powered apps and devices, revolutionizing independence for visually impaired individuals.
there's what I just created. Now to play it, I simply tap.
AI's vision, empowering the blind with smart tech.
I'm going to let it play for like a couple of minutes, and I'll stop the playback.
You're tuned in to AI's vision, empowering the blind with smart tech.
Today, we're exploring the latest AI-powered apps and devices that are revolutionizing independence for visually impaired individuals.
We're just about ready to kick things off, so hang tight while we get everything set up for you.
Stick around. Your episode will begin in just a few moments. I was speaking with a user recently, someone who is totally blind. She was telling me about looking at old family photographs, something she hadn't been able to truly experience for years. But this time, she pointed her phone at a photo and a voice began describing it. Not just a man and a woman, but the details, the style of their clothes, the expressions on their faces, the setting. She told me, I felt as if I had a little personal assistant in my pocket, ready to describe anything that crossed our path. It was like she was rediscovering the world.
For most of us, AI is an abstract concept. It's chatbots, it's algorithms suggesting what we should buy or watch next. But for a growing number of people, it's becoming something much more fundamental. It's becoming their eyes. Today,
I'm gonna
we're
stop here
exploring
because
that
I don't want to
revolution,
get in trouble
how
with Google.
artificial intelligence is offering a new level of independence to the blind and low-vision community. I'm joined by a reporter who has been covering the intersection of technology and accessibility.
A
At the
suite of
bottom
new
right
tools,
corner
powered by the
is-
same AI technology that dominates
is the
headlines,
pause
is starting to
button.
fundamentally change the
And
daily
it
reality
doesn't
for
seem to
millions of
activate.
visually impaired
I'll turn
individuals
off
around the
talkback and
world.
tap on
Today, we're exploring that revolution, how artificial
that. So I tapped on that, and it just silenced it.
Talkback on.
For some reason, my talkback went back to the phone screen instead of on here on the patch. So, but if I put my finger down, you can read the text.
I was speaking with a user recently, someone who is totally blind. She was telling me about looking at old family photographs, something.
So if I move
For
down-
most of us, AI is an abstract concept. It's chatbots, it's algorithms suggesting what we should buy or watch next. But for a growing
I just put my finger down to stop it. Now, if you move your finger down,
Unlabeled.
you'll find the
Detected
play
icon. Play.
at the very bottom of the phone, in the middle section of the phone. And that would conclude this quick demonstration of Huxe or Huxe. I just don't feel too great, guys, so I'm not doing a lot with this demonstration today, but at least you have an idea of how it works. It's not very accessible, but it's usable. Thanks for listening, and if you like what we're doing, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and as always, if you have an app that you'd like to demonstrate for our listeners, please feel free to send us such a demonstration, and we'll integrate it in our podcast episode. Thank you so much. Have a great one. Well, guys, that's the demonstration there. What are your comments? John, what do you think of Huxe or Huxe? I don't know how you call that. Huxe? Huxe?
Accessibility of the app aside, because I wasn't impressed with it. I know you said it's come a long way, but I think it's a neat app, as long as you don't take it too seriously. I just worry about people thinking they're actually learning like 100% true facts from apps like this. I mean, you have no idea where it's getting this information and how accurate it is, but for entertainment purposes, it's pretty cool.
I agree with you. I think the key word here is entertainment. It's very entertaining, and especially when you use that deep cast that I demonstrated in there.
And there's an important thing here, which is the guys were working at Google before. So they brought with them the Google strategy on accessibility. So actually Google releases an app which has all sorts of accessibility issues, and they start fixing things. And they did the same. So actually, I think that this doctrine of Google is just working well for them. So yeah, I hope that with time they will be releasing a better accessible version. As you said, they just improved. So I hope that they will keep it up, and maybe you could contact them as well, and we try to tell them more about the accessibility issues.
You're correct, Karen, because it kind of baffles the mind that this is an app coming from ex-Googlers. And this is not the only app that has this type of problems. There was an email app that was from an ex-Googler, and I was in touch with them. Oh, yeah, we're going to fix that. They were even going to come on our podcast. They haven't done diddly squat. Sometimes it makes me feel like Google is like the old Roman Empire, to where it grew so large to where some of the provinces didn't even know that they belonged to Rome. And so it's just amazing that something from Google would lack accessibility. It's just like they never heard of the word accessibility.